inappropriate.
It's like, is this black enough for you? I don't know. I like something in black.
You fucked her eye so good she cried cum. That's so wrong.
Listen, yeah, nut come out her other good eye. Then I might gotta slap her. I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
So fucking inappropriate.
It is so big.
Then I put his head right under my balls. He's gonna jump. I'm gonna flip him up to where his dick is right here in my face.
So fucking inappropriate. So fucking inappropriate. So fucking inappropriate.
All right, everybody, and welcome to a weird part of the internet you really probably haven't realized you've found yet. That's right. Here's a disclaimer right up front. We say naughty things. You have found the Inappropriates podcast. It's the only podcast that's going to cover those top 10 lists that you didn't know you really needed and do the Mary Fuck skill for people you probably didn't know we wanted to do any of that too. Right now, here's your host, Matt and Nate.
All right, welcome back to the Inappropriates. Just a little heads up, we are having some audio issues, so if this sounds terrible, I do apologize. I'm going to work on it in post. Hopefully fix the issues if I can. But we are here. We do have a special guest. However, before we get to that, we got to do what we always do, and that is the sponsor. Today's sponsor, Matthew, Drew Carey's Quarterback Camp.
All right, folks, today's episode is brought to you by Drew Carey's Quarterback Camp. Let me tell you, folks, if you ever wondered if the price was right, you can get into Drew Carey's Quarterback Camp for only the cost that is less than the new car behind showcase curtain number 3. That's right. If you think Bob Barker was a good host, wait till Drew Carey has you running a 440 while eating Twinkies and drinking a latte. That's right. We got Drew Carey's Quarterback Camp, and he's the reason that they traded Joe Flacco and they have a farm team to get a new quarterback up in Cleveland. That's right. Cleveland rocks, and it's sponsored by Drew Carey.
All right. Thank you, Matthew.
I can't ad-lib this shit with a blank head, dude. Where do you come up with Drew Carey's? Where does that?
Oh, it has to do with this week's episode, obviously. All right, on to the next thing. So this is also a new segment. If you remember Jay from season 1, I said every time we have a guest, I'm going to ask him I'm going to ask the guest a specific question. And it was, what is the most shameful porn search? Well, last guest, I failed to ask that question. So I told myself I got to figure out a way to make sure I don't forget to ask. And that is what is in front of you guys. Of course, our viewers can't see this. But there's some index cards and there's some laminated sheets. Have you numbered them yet, Kevin?
They need to be numbered?
Yes, number the index cards 1 through 4 randomly.
That's a pathetic excuse for it, too, right there. Let me correct that. There we go.
All right.
That's
Now,
why we all have
Matthew.
radio.
If you will display the picture side of the laminated sheets so that our guests can see what they say on them. Well, you can show them to them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was supposed to Vanna White.
Yes, you're Vanna White.
We have to.
Okay.
The glory hole.
Dude, that looks like it's going to cut something off. I'm not even. that looks like the most ghetto. You may not pull back out of that. I'm just. Wow.
This might embarrassingly show my substantial glory hole knowledge, but yeah, this is not a good one. I've seen some much better ones.
Believe it or not, that's a photo from Bricky's.
Oh, that actually.
I'm kidding.
I thought it looked familiar.
All right, we got Golden Gate Bridge.
No, Golden Gate Bridging.
Bridge.
And if you're not familiar with that, I can explain.
Okay.
Not familiar?
I am not.
Okay, so on last season's The Inappropriates, we discussed something, and it was me saying that I would finger Jessica Biel and jerk off Justin Timberlake, because they're a married couple, right?
Oh, interesting.
While they held hands.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. That's Golden Gate Bridging.
Oh, so you invented that?
Yes, basically.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's very innovative. I think I would do that too, but I just want to include the caveat that I wouldn't be enjoying the Justin Timberlake part, but it would be worth it for the Jessica Biel.
Exactly.
Life, I think, is all about cost-benefit analysis, and that's a good example of that.
Yep. Exactly.
If there was ever a technical analysis of you jerking off Jessica Timberlake while fingering Jessica Biel, that was almost like a commentary play by play. Well, the risk and analysis of this, Jim, is
Yeah. I pride myself on making those calls.
that is it's an in the moment greatness right
color
there.
commentator is in my future.
It was perfect.
Almost sounded like it's going to be on ESPN 12 next.
Sports Center top 10.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
We have the back door, which I can safely say is not Bricky's back door. Thank God.
The back door. Okay. So this would be considered a search. Is this a search that people? Because I would just be more straightforward and type in anal. I mean, I don't know why people are censoring themselves.
Why do they get so anal over the word anal? Apparently, why do we got to substitute something?
That's like there's a one of the sites that's linked to Pornhub is named Tushy. I'm like, all right, come on. Like we can be just call it ass or anyway.
If you want to get classy about it, call it the starfish or something. I don't know why do you gotta
exactly. Yeah.
Well, real quick, I couldn't type in anal because these were printed at work.
Oh, okay.
I won't say her name because she asked me not to, but Matthew, I had Sam's mother print them off for me.
Oh my God, you got her to do it?
Yes.
That is fucking awesome.
So imagine if I would have, printed off. Yeah.
Well,
that is hilarious.
Yes.
You went super safe on these because if I see the back door or Golden Gate Bridging, I'm like, oh, this guy's into architecture.
Exactly.
But then.
But she printed Glory Hole?
Oh, she had something to say about it, but
I'm sure she did.
This
my God, that explains why she's been giving me fucking weird ass looks for the last few days. Like she just walks by and just like.
This is definitely the one that gives away the game, for sure.
And then we have the Eiffel
Oh,
Tower.
yeah, that one's safe.
I like the fact that it's been tagged with our logo on every page.
Yes.
Yeah. Why
It's
not
gotta be.
plaster
It's
that
gotta be.
right through that?
and I'm assuming you know what an Eiffel Tower is.
Is that a euphemism for a sex act or is it?
They are all. Yes, they all are.
Okay, got
So-
it. What's this one?
So when you're hitting it from behind,
Okay.
and then you have a fellow buddy or maybe just a stranger getting
high
head,
five.
and then you high five.
Yeah.
You create the Eiffel Tower.
Gotcha.
High
So-
five while she's locked in like a pair of finger cuffs.
Yes.
essentially.
So-
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So all four of them are sexual innuendos. So
Well, that's fascinating. I didn't know this was going to be educational.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Okay. So now the next step.
Very multifaceted, perverted podcast.
Nice. I like it.
Now the next step is you will choose number 1 through 4, or you can choose one of the pictures, and then he can tell you the number, which one, however you want to do it, really.
Choose number 4.
No, don't turn it over.
Oh. Okay. Oh,
Number.
So I'm choosing 4, and then what? Okay. How does it correlate to the photos again? Oh, I see.
Actually, I did this completely wrong, but we're just going to go with 4. I did this wrong. Just turn over 4 now.
All right.
You were supposed to choose a photo, and then he was going to tell you what number, and then that's how you chose the index card. But you chose 4, so go with 4. Turn over the index card.
Okay.
Now read what it says.
I don't really understand the question. What is your fetish that no one can ever hit?
Okay, so that was a question from, I am going to say her name, Christina. I went to her and said, hey, I need some questions for my podcast. I also didn't understand this question. I had to ask her 3 times.
Okay.
So interpret it however you want. But how she explained it to me was she has a fetish and apparently guys just can't hit it. I don't.
So it's
Like they can't fulfill it?
Maybe, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. She really threw me off when she said it. I'm like, can't hit it? Like, I've heard of not being able to hit the G spot and that kind of thing.
Right.
But
What is she fucking like inch and a half big dude?
Exactly.
I'm not really sure.
So, interpret the question how you would like.
Yeah.
I'll have her listen to this podcast and she can tell me if that was what she meant or not. But
Yeah. Okay. This is pretty fascinating. So, what is the fetish that no one can ever hit?
that
So,
for you,
yeah.
what is your fetish then?
So it must be something that's unattainable, or like something that like is a preference, but women will not accommodate it. That must be what it is.
There you go.
I would say it's probably along that vein.
Yeah, this is the interesting part. So I would say that I probably have those, but I'm always too polite to ever request it, you know? So I don't know 100% that they would decline, but I just suspect.
So I guess in this case, what would be your most unrequested?
Yeah, the oh man. Is this podcast we can say anything, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be nice to knock out a facial, you know, like
You can't say that.
with a lady.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm talking about going to a beauty salon with a nice woman. No, I think that would be cool, but I've never requested that because I feel like it's an unfair thing to impose, you know.
I get that, yeah.
And it's not something that the woman has ever. I'm not. It's not like I've done amazing, but I've been with an okay number of women over the course of several years, and none of them have ever proactively requested that themselves. So it's something the guy has to suggest.
But I almost feel like you're not going to suggest it. It almost has to be a kind of a weird her thing, heat of the moment request, and you're like, finally get to check this one off the box. You know?
That's right. But yeah, that would be one that I would put in that category because it's not that they can't or won't. It's just that I have no evidence that they would because I've never requested it, you know, formally.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, it is technically the Midwest. I don't know how girls here would just be like, you know, I mean, maybe they will.
that's
I don't
true.
know. You might be able to find a good Catholic girl that kind of went off the rails somewhere.
Right. Do you think it is a regional thing? Like, do you think in the South they're just like they just want that to happen, or like?
I mean, if we're gonna go with stereotypes, I think in the South the guys are, you know, or the girls are probably competing with farm animals at some point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a good point.
'cause
Yeah.
Instead of mechanical bulls, there's probably a mechanical sheep. Some guy with a stick stuck in the back of it somewhere.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
Now, if we're gonna play strictly off stereotypes, you know, but
Sure.
I mean, I think there's places you could go and request it, but it might come with a fee.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. So, do you guys also have to answer this, or?
No, this is just for the guest.
Oh, well, that's unfair. Oh man. Okay.
I mean, just go back in our backlog. We've discussed our sex life
Yeah.
more than anybody
The answer-
wanted to hear.
Yeah, the answer's in there somewhere. You just have to watch.
I'm
That's a
sure
good way to
the
get people to watch
answers-
the other episodes. You know.
It's also, you know, hey, welcome to the podcast. I don't think this was running through your thought pattern on the way over here.
I was ready to talk purely sports, but this is a type of sport. You know.
Basically, that's the tone setter. So now, Matthew, give the introduction.
Well, after that introduction, it's going to sound a little subpar, I think. But anyway, no, guys, we have Kevin Ruppert on the show with us today, and I'm super happy that he's here. Kevin is, I believe, what I would call the owner and operator of Bricky's Comedy Club in Miamisburg. That comedy club was recently voted best comedy club in Dayton. Super proud of that, and I know Kevin has to be as well. Kevin is the guy who gave me the opportunity to do my very first stand-up set, and I was super grateful for that. I consider Bricky's my comedy home. You know, it's one of those things where after 25 years of listening to comics, I decided to try to stand up in front, and thankfully Kevin was like, "Yeah, come on, we'll give you time," and it's kind of been a roll ever since. But Kevin, it sounds like you've been in comedy for quite a while. If I did any of my research correct, didn't you start like in the Manhattan, New Jersey area?
I did, yeah. I started, I guess it's technically been about 6 years now. I started in, first ever set was at a place called West End Lounge in Manhattan in New York City. I was living in New Jersey at the time, and I took a cab into Manhattan. Had never done stand up before. It actually was not a comedy themed mic. It was like a variety mic with a bunch of different types of performers.
Oh wow!
They had burlesque dancers and poets. They actually didn't have any comedians on who had signed up on the lineup that night. But I just went in and they had a decent turnout. They had about 40 to 50 people.
Yeah.
And I just asked if I could do 5 minutes of stand up. And they let me, and it ended up being a lot more fun than I anticipated. And I just kind of continued with it. That was back in like 2019. So yeah, I've been doing it ever since then.
I mean, so I know eventually you moved back to Ohio and you started working at Wiley's. Or doing stand up at Wiley's, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Wiley's is kind of my original home club. You know, I went in there. I think it was like maybe the third set that I did back in Ohio. I had hit up like a bar music open mic and done a set there. For a good friend of mine now, a guy named Dusty Harvey, he was running a show at a bowling alley in Franklin called JD Legends.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And so I stopped by there and did a set. I think that was before I ever went into Wiley's, and then signed up for Sunday Comics, and that was my introduction to the Dayton comedy scene. And and then I continued doing that. I started producing shows not long after that, so I was about 6 months into stand up when I produced my first show, and then just got some more opportunities. Kept performing at Wiley's, got some opportunities there, and that's kind of how it began. At least in Ohio.
And then you just kind of flipped the switch and said, I'm just going to open my own joint and kind of went with it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure exactly what my the impetus was for going that route. I just kind of came up with the idea of starting a comedy club, and I was like, if I can do it in a way where it caters to the Dayton comedy scene, but it doesn't cannibalize what Wiley's is doing, I was like, I'm totally on board with doing that. So. And then we had our first show in 2022 and started as a monthly showcase and then just kept building from there.
Yeah. Which, I mean, sadly, Wiley's ended up shutting down just a couple years later. Which is insane because that club ran for 43 years. Something like that.
I think 1982, I want to say, is when they launched.
Yeah. Which is just, it's crazy. I remember going there shortly after, right around the 20-year-old phase of my life. I'd just gotten out of the religious cult I was raised in, and I started attending Joker's, which was by the Dayton Mall. It was a comedy club because it was right around where I lived.
Yeah.
And I would travel up to Dayton once in a while. So I remember watching a lot of comics on that stage.
Sure.
And eventually I did actually make it on to their very last open mic night, which I know we talked about once, which was just really cool to stand on the stage that I got to watch a lot of people on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of big names came through Wiley's when they came through Dayton. Wiley's and Joker, they did attract, several big names. I remember watching like Eddie Griffin and Dave Attell pass through those places. Just kind of cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'd say you probably opened at the right time because with the comedy scene, especially in Dayton, I think there's a healthy drive for it, but I don't think it's something that people realize is still here in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Especially with Netflix and streaming, and it's on demand on your phone all the time.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, these days, comedy venues and live stand-up comedy is competing with an infinite number of content sources online. So how do you persuade people to come enjoy a live entertainment experience when they can access that same exact thing on their device within the comfort of their own home or their car, wherever they prefer to be when they consume that stuff? It definitely adds a bit of a challenge. It's part of the reason why the traditional old model of comedy clubs is starting to get phased out. The sort of dine-in, fully immersive club experience. And the only venues that are surviving are indie venues like, Bricky's and sort of some of these new spots you see in Columbus, like the Attic and Hashtag, because what we've done is innovate a little bit and find unconventional ways to bring our costs down so that we can continue to operate. The larger sort of corporatized franchise comedy clubs are really struggling because their cost structure is extremely inflated and they're no longer generating the revenue necessary to keep pace with that. So they're slowly starting to disappear, and it's up to the indie clubs to sustain scenes until the next thing comes along.
I mean, and in all fairness, the cool thing, especially for everybody listening, is you can sit on the couch and you can flip through 80 to 100 TikToks really quick.
Yeah.
Where you're consuming a lot of different types of media, including some stand-up comedy and including other things like that. But I'll be 100% honest here, because we've all been guilty of sitting on our couch and flipping through those media posts and those quick things. There's an atmosphere that comes with clubs like Bricky's and with clubs like Wiley's that is something you're not going to ever get sitting on your couch, man. Like every time I go to an open mic, there's always something that's going to happen where either it's somebody's very first time getting up there, which was always really cool to see, because I remember my first time, or whether it's guys that's been up there doing it forever and a day and they're just messing with the crowd, and be able to sit in that environment, see that happen, and you catch the vibe of the crowd.
Yeah.
Because comedy is live comedy is the only, I would say, entertainment where right away if you were funny.
Sure.
And right away if the crowd's going to dig it or not. And sitting in the crowd or even being on stage, it's a very unique feeling. It's a very unique atmosphere that you can't describe it. You have to just experience it. That's why, if you've ever wondered what it's like, guys, just go hit an open mic. Go buy a ticket to a local comedian who's putting on a half hour to an hour show. I don't think you'll regret it. It's almost like music, whether it's your genre or not. If you go to a live musical event, the crowd, the atmosphere, it makes the concert better, and you'll be like, you know what, it wasn't bad. I had a great time. Wasn't the band I definitely really prefer, but I had a great time. I've done it many times myself, and comedy's kind of the same way. It's just getting people there, and suddenly they get hooked and they love it, and they realize, it's not that bad. Hey, let's go back next month. Let's go back next week.
I agree. Yeah, I think the challenge for current venues in the climate today is basically to find those people who are seeking out an experience more so than a quick dopamine hit. And that's tougher to do. I mean, there aren't as many of those people out there as there used to be. There's certainly a decent percentage of the population that, for lack of a better term, has been relatively zombified, and they're kind of content to, any entertainment they consume to just find that within a device. But yeah, we're trying to cast as wide a net as possible and basically reach out to people who want that live, unique experience that can't be duplicated. Just sitting on the couch. And it's harder than it used to be, but we're doing it.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I've enjoyed standing up on stage. I know I'm not the funniest guy in the room. I'm just hoping I'm not the least funniest guy in the room when I stand up there. And I've always been grateful to get like 5 people to show up, for the requirement of getting on for an open mic.
Sure.
But like Nate over here, he's been to almost every single one of my shows. He's been super supportive of the comedy scene. But he's got a whole mission right now where all he's doing is, I'm finding someone new to bring to every show. I know, like him and his wife been over to Bricky's many, many times, and now he's starting to branch out and bring new people in. So it's kind of cool. Like, you can build something like that. Me, I'm just happy I hear 5 people are coming. Like, holy shit, there's 5 people that are going to come watch me,
For sure.
And because I'm still on that stage of who's going to pay to watch me. But no, I mean, there's people out there, and you'd just be surprised just to take that step out and go with it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's stand-up comedy is alive and well. It's survived a bunch of different iterations of the art form and changes to the business landscape around stand-up. But yeah, it kind of keeps going, and I view Bricky's as just sort of doing a small part to continue that locally, and that's basically our entire mission.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's amazing. I love Bricky's. Like I said, I've always considered Bricky's at this point, where I got my start in my comedy home. So, and it was in the hometown where I grew up. So it's just super cool to see my Emmitsburg actually have another really, smaller venue like Joker's. It still has that kind of intimate vibe to it. So
For sure.
Yeah, I know you're bored, man.
Not bored whatsoever, but I do have a question or a bone to pick, however you want to say it. Can you have some open mics on the weekends? Because the Monday through Friday working man, it's kind of hard to get off every Friday, to go to this man's open mic. No, I know he's told me it's
Friday Friday is as weekendy as you'll ever find for an open mic. We're probably the only club aside from Hashtag. I know Hashtag in Columbus, they now do open mic on Friday, but us and Hashtag are probably the only clubs. I would guess
in Southern Ohio, yes.
Oh well, no. I wasn't going to say the only club. The only clubs doing a mic on a Friday.
On a Friday, that's
And I would guess. I don't know this for sure, but we're probably the only clubs doing a mic on a Friday in the entire country. Because it never happens. Because clubs have always historically used Friday and Saturday for the national touring headliners, and sort of the innovation of our concept. And now I think Hashtag has emulated it somewhat, and we kind of pioneered it when we started the Friday mic, was what would happen if we gave the weekend, or a day of the weekend at the club to the local comedians. Like what would happen if we did an open mic on the weekends as opposed to, because all the other venues do their open mic on, sometime between Monday and Thursday.
Usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is everything I've seen.
What about Sundays?
Yep. Wiley's used to do Sundays. We avoided Sundays because we didn't want to cannibalize what Wiley's was doing. Now that Wiley's is gone, we're open to doing Sundays. We just have some obstacles to that because we have a liquor license that has. We collaborate with Star City Brewing. They maintain the liquor license, and that license has some more limitations on Sunday specifically because of some local ordinances. So that's been the only barrier to doing Sunday shows. But I would like to do Sundays at some point in the future, for sure.
It's like every comedian knows, the drunker they are, the funnier I am. So
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I've looked at a lot of open mics, and a lot of the ones are usually the unique part. Definitely about Bricky's is you guys start at 7:30, where a lot of open mics around the area are on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. They start at 9:30, 10:30, and sometimes 11:30.
Yeah.
Yep. And me getting into comedy at the where I am in life, I have to be up at 5 a.m. to go to work.
Sure.
I'm not driving an hour to a 10 o'clock open mic, and then I won't leave after my set. I will sit and watch all the other acts because, for one, I want to support the other acts. I just like sitting and listening to comedy anyway.
Sure.
And then drive that hour home. I'm the age I don't operate well on 4 hours of sleep anymore.
Sure.
And cocaine's still illegal. So, and coffee don't wake me up quite like it used to.
Yeah, I get that.
So I like I said, with Bricky's, sometimes it's tight by the time I get off work, come home, shower, change, and then get over to my Emmitsburg for that. And I just live one town over. That's not really that far of a drive.
Sure.
But it makes it difficult for some people at certain age levels to be like, I've always wanted to try this.
Yeah.
But I'm not fighting insomnia to get on stage at that point as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I mean,
Definitely.
like I said, it's definitely unique. You guys are definitely building. I definitely have noticed because I used to be able to shoot you an email for open mic, and you'd be like, can you come on next week? Cool, let's go. Now you're booking these out like months in advance.
Yeah, we're we've got a few spots left, but we're almost booked up through December. Believe it or not.
Oh, I know. I got on last night and was filling out the form to get back on an open mic, and I was looking at it. I was like, hey, all right, end of November into December at this point. Like, holy, I need to get the email for open mic and just reopen the tab and just start scheduling again if I want to do that.
I got you.
Because I wanted to try and at least do it monthly.
Sure.
Especially, at places like Bricky's and stuff. Yeah. And like, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to literally, all right, I'm on. Let's see when the next event. I'm going to have to start long scheduling out my comedy bits because I'm just used to, shooting an email, filling out a form like, hey guys, I'm on in 2 weeks. Here we go,
Yeah, and, that's one thing that's been.
But that's a good problem to have especially for you building a business. That means more local comics want to come in, want to perform at Bricky's and.
Sure. It's it's been kind of a good thing in some sense. It's also been a little bit overwhelming just because as the other venues start to kind of fade away. I mean, Laugh Zone just shut down.
Did it really?
2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
So we've gone from a scene that had like 4 or 5 comedy clubs,
Yeah.
like a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
Because we had, Wiley's, Funny Bone, Bricky's, Laugh Zone, and Jokes and Tokes.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot
So
about
now
Jokes and
Wiley's is gone, Jokes and Tokes is gone. I for some reason I made Bricky's my middle finger, so now I'm going to accidentally flip you guys off. But
Sure.
But but
It's
now
comedy. It's unintentional comedy.
right.
Just oozing out of the man over here.
That's right. But yeah. So now we're down to just Bricky's and Funny Bone as the only club venues in Dayton.
And yeah, I mean, the only Funny Bones we got left is either down at Union Center or the one up on the other side of Dayton, I believe, at this point.
That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, you are in that like kind of happy medium area.
Yeah.
Where it kind of regionally it's zoned out, it's spaced out enough.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I mean, I think you guys are in a really good position. With you guys doing what you do, you're going to see a lot more, I think, influx of not only local comedians but bigger names as well.
Oh, thanks, man.
Because I was just surfing through watching comedians on, I think it was TikTok the other day, and one of them was telling a story. I don't know if it was on a podcast or radio, and he mentioned Bricky's, and I'm like, "What the shit?" He goes, "It was in a place called Miamisburg. What the fuck kind of town name is that?" I'm like, "Oh my god, he's talking. I know." It was really kind of cool, and it's like now I'm seeing you guys more and more, which is great exposure for Bricky's for the scene you have going on. So I mean, I'm excited about everything you guys have going on there, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
But we're going to have to break into the actual top 10 this week because I will sit here and talk this for another 3.5, 4 hours because I'm...
All right, well. Is there a bug in here? What the fuck was
by
that?
the way, the pictures and the cards, don't hold that against me when it comes to approving my my open mic.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't necessarily my idea.
No, you have total immunity right now. You will not be penalized. I might adjust just slightly. I have kind of a messed up neck right now, so I'm gonna move just a little bit. That might be a little bit better in terms of the angle.
I think most of the audio is being picked up on this mic now. That's why I moved it out there. So you don't even have to really worry about.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome.
So we'll get it figured out one way or the other.
We haven't actually been said what the topic this week was, though. So if you want to say what the topic is.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So we're going to talk about the top 10 Browns victories since they returned to the league in 1999. This was a topic that I requested to put on the table, and I appreciate Matthew approving that request. It's a tough task. It's not easy to do. The Browns have very infamously had kind of a rough go of it since they came back. But I think I have 10 Browns victories that I would categorize as notable and significant, and it was not easy, but we found them.
And, kind of like I was explaining, instead of 3 guys all talking about the Browns, since we know out of the room you are definitely the Cleveland Browns fan, as you stated, I'll be covering the same timeline, but for the other end of Ohio, and that'll be the Cincinnati Bengals.
Nice.
And staying within that kind of AFC thing, Nate over there is going to be covering, obviously, sporting the number 52 jersey today for the Baltimore Ravens, which kind of loosely ties right in with Cleveland there for a while, the move and the comeback and everything.
Yep.
So I guess we could technically say if it wasn't for the Browns, we never would have got the Ravens. But
that is true. And if not for the Browns, never the Bengals as well.
Actually, very true because Mike Brown came down and decided to open his own kind of team, and that's where 1986 they built the stadium, and then
I think the Bengals' inaugural season, I want to say, was in the 60s.
It was 66 or 67.
That seems right.
That they built the stadium, and then the Bengals formed, I think, 67.
That's a whole lot of years of no Super Bowl winning.
Yeah.
Well, over that same stretch, the Browns have not appeared in the Super Bowl, so I totally...
The Browns can still boast they have the pennant. I don't think there's many teams that can still say they still have a pennant, which was what you won prior to the Super Bowl even being the championship, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I believe before a couple years before they actually started the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Browns actually won what was just the championship pennant at
Oh,
the time, which is kind of cool.
They had a string of championships in the 60s with Jim Brown and I want to say Otto Graham was the quarterback for a period of time.
Yeah.
And then, the Super Bowl era emerged. And, the Browns had competitive teams in between the emergence of the Super Bowl and them being sold to Baltimore in 96, I think it was. But yeah, no Super Bowl appearances. Several AFC title games, but never made it to the Super Bowl.
Well, you are the guest, so let's start with your number 10.
Yeah, we do this just like Letterman. So we start 10 and count down to that number 1.
All right, number 10, I've got Browns Patriots in 2010. Colt McCoy at quarterback. It was the short-lived Peyton Hillis era. He ended up gracing the cover of Madden the following year, which arguably destroyed his NFL career.
Madden curse.
That's right. Browns beat Brady and Belichick's Patriots 34-14 in 2010.
Yep.
Shocking the football world. So that's my number 10 pick. Number 9, I've got Browns versus.
Oh, wait a minute. We'll all go through and.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
You want me to go next?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the only bar I'll take at Cleveland, but my number 10 did happen in the year of 1999, so I did try to keep it as wide across the span as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But that was during the Battle of Ohio, and that was when the Browns did take a loss to Cincinnati, and the score in game 14 of that season, actually, so it was right at the end of their season. And the end score ended up being 44-28. And the big run or the big scoring plays for that particular game was Corey Dillon that year. Had 3 touchdowns and 192 rushing yards, which was just one of those. There's something about the Cleveland and Cincinnati where they usually bring out the best football in each other.
Yeah.
And it's either a close scoring game or it's kind of a blowout. And this was one of those games where Cincinnati just came out and kind of did what they had to do. But, for Corey Dillon running 192 rushing yards is just kind of one of those standout kind of plays of the game.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Well, my number 10, and it's a jab at the Browns. I think it's probably the only one that I've got on the list, though.
Okay.
The second largest comeback victory in the Baltimore Ravens history. It came on September 18th of the 2016 season against Cleveland Browns. The Ravens were down 0-20 in the first quarter, and they ended up winning the game 25-20.
Okay.
So the Browns had them down 20-0 and didn't score again.
I remember that game.
Somehow I figured you would.
That was rough. Yeah, the Browns and Baltimore have had an interesting. It's been rather one-sided in many respects, which has been tough, but fun rivalry to watch for sure.
It always is. The AFC, in my opinion, has some of the most insane rivalries. I think.
Oh yeah,
football.
definitely.
It always just feels personal when certain teams
Yeah.
walk on. But Steelers, Browns, Steelers, Ravens.
Yep.
There's always because there's always something there, right?
Yeah.
But this year in football, I don't know what's been happening, man. The first couple of weeks of football was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You had Kels getting slapped. You had Lamar Jackson pushing a fan. You had one football player spitting on another. We're in week 3 by the time all this has went down. You're going, it's going to be a great year.
Oh yeah.
So and these were all in kind of semi either players who notoriously like to either run their mouth or it was in rivalry games. And this is just kind of where it almost feels like this year is going to get taken really, really serious. But where's it going to go? Who's going to really break out and become that next kind of lead?
It's kind of uncharted territory for NFL seasons, just like with the number of high-profile injuries and just the volatility in terms of I don't see a lot of continuity with the teams in the league right now. Like there's a few clear contenders. I would say the Lions are up there as it's pretty obvious they are likely to make a deep playoff run. The Bills look good, but otherwise it's totally open. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought Cincinnati would be 2-0 and Kansas City would be 0-2? Especially toward the beginning of the year, as far as that goes.
For sure.
All right, man. You're number 9.
Number 9, I'm going to go with, this is maybe a little bit of a weird choice, but I like the Browns beating the Giants in 2008. This was fresh off of the Giants winning the Super Bowl against the Patriots the year prior. And the Browns had actually also had a good season in 2007. Derek Anderson, Jamal Lewis, Braylon Edwards. The team went 10-6 and actually missed the playoffs. So there was a lot of expectations coming out of the 2007 season. The Browns came out really weak out of the gate and ended up having a pretty lackluster season overall. But the Browns versus Giants game on, I want to say it was Sunday night, or no, it was a Monday night game. And that to me was a big victory because it sort of gave a glimmer of hope that the Derek Anderson era might be extended a little bit. And so it was fun. It was fun when it happened. But that's my number 9.
Well, I can applaud that because even though I'm wearing a Ravens jersey, I'm a Cowboys fan. So the worst team in the NFL to me is the Giants.
Oh, okay.
Anytime the Giants lose is...
There you go. Awesome.
Which is funny because as soon as you go to basketball, you're just like up there hugging New York's ass.
Yes,
I
I like the New York. I like the New York Knicks. I hate the New York Giants.
You're just across the board, or should I say country, when it comes to your sports teams. So, all right. Number 9 then for me actually comes through right around the 2005 era. And this was a game I remember watching. This was just, I couldn't believe it all the way through. But this was week 11 of that year. And that was a game of Cincinnati. And they played the Saints, which the Saints were doing really well back then at that point. And what kills me is that Drew Brees that game threw a staggering 504 yards.
Wow.
The Cincinnati defense caused 4 turnovers to take that game, win it at a score of 31-16.
That's crazy.
So when you've got, someone like Brees who manages to throw 504 yards, still can't win the game. Defense for Bengals that game was absolutely 100% on point.
Yeah.
But for them to turn around, capitalize on 4 turnovers, be able to win the game at a score, 31-14, that's just that was one of those games, or 31-16, I'm sorry, but that's just one of those games where you're just sitting there going, how? Certain times things align, things just happen.
Yeah.
And with them going up against the Saints that year, that was one of those times, especially with obviously a quarterback like Drew Brees, who's had a very illustrious career all in of his own. But
for sure.
All right. Number 9 for me. My number 10 was the Ravens' largest comeback victory. Number 9 is the largest margin of victory. The Ravens, week 1 of 2019 season, they beat the Miami Dolphins by 49 points.
Wow.
Side note, the Ravens' 8th highest margin of victory was total of 37 points, was against the Dolphins and both the 2000 Bengals and 2000 Browns. Another jab, sorry. And they beat the Bengals 37-0. So a little jab twice for the Bengals. I'm done with jabs, at least for your guys' teams. That's largest margin of victory, 49 points. I feel like that would be number 9 for me.
Man, when it comes to Bengals playing teams in their own division, they are either really, really good or really bad.
Yeah.
There never seems to be, like, they don't ever play the Steelers the same way they play, the Jaguars or anyone else that would come in from out of town on their schedule. It would just be, there's just a whole different feeling. It's like, what Bengals are we getting in this game versus, who's, there's going to be a hiccup or a mess over on either side of the field, but you're not ever going to see Cincinnati get 4 turnovers on the Browns or the Ravens or the Steelers. It's always going to be more of a very physical knockdown kind of drag out scenario. And like you're going to see them pull off on, say, like the Saints or the Giants or anything else, or even Chicago at that point. But
for sure.
It's always excruciatingly interesting when it comes to what version of the teams we get, depending on whether they play.
Like the Ravens beating the Bengals 37-0.
I don't have like a huge invested horse in the NFL game, guys. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of football until I was like 19. So I mean, I had my, I didn't grow up sporting the colors to school because I was the only kid in my class. So it was like, who was I going to brag to, I had to bully myself walking down the hall, so I got a complete experience, My mom was my teacher and the lunch lady, so it really didn't kind of,
Nice.
The principal was fucking my teacher, and you're also married, but, I mean, it's, what do you want me to say? I grew up with comic books and an imagination. I mean,
What's your number 8, Kevin?
Number 8 is Browns Jets. This is 2023. Joe Flacco at quarterback for the Browns. Now famously with Cincinnati. But in that game, he threw for over 300 yards, played amazingly well, and it solidified the Browns as a playoff team. I don't think that they clinched definitively that night. I could be mistaken about that, but they improved to 11-5, and it basically guaranteed them a playoff spot. So I think in the expansion era, that's certainly an impressive victory. Yep, and that's my number 8.
Mm-hmm. Any defining game that clinches a playoff spot is a huge deal for any team, I think, because it kind of makes you, even from the fans' point of view, the season's not over, and the season's just getting difficult at that point. Because I think once you hit playoffs, every team plays just a little bit higher in caliber. And that's when any given Sunday, the phrase, of any given Sunday can really come back. Because at this point, it's you lose, you go home.
Yeah.
And the team that can just hit that winning streak in the playoffs is the team that's going to just run it all the way to the end,
100%.
So it's always an amazing thing to watch how teams suddenly evolve in the playoffs.
For sure.
How they're going to overcome certain injuries. And so for me, number 8 is going to be Cincinnati versus the Bears, and this was from 2009. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati won with a score of 45-10. Palmer threw for a 233 passing yard game that game.
Wow.
Benson had 189 rushing yards that game, and excuse me, as we remember, old Ocho Cinco, as he was known back then, was just straight up Chad Johnson. And he got 118 yards for a win with the Bears. Also, that game ended up having another 4 turnovers, which is, like we were talking about, was one of those situations where Cincinnati just gets away with a little more, plays a little different when they're not playing that rivalry hit.
Yep.
So that'd be my number 8.
Oh, okay. I pulled my phone out while you guys were talking because I wanted to make sure before I said it. But 2023 is when the Browns midseason picked up Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I told some of my Browns fans, like, hey, Flacco is going to do you guys good.
Yeah.
And they did. Same thing happened this season with the Bengals. I told some people that are Bengals fans, I'm like, hey, Joe Flacco, he's going to help you out. What did he just do this last Thursday, right?
Yep.
So watch. Bengals might end up making the playoffs. I don't know.
Could happen.
Joey Flacco, I'm telling you. But all right.
I mean, as soon as Burrow's done growing that turf on his toe, he'll be back in the game. But
Flacco, keep him in a good spot.
Flacco
Burrow take over.
Keep it alive,
Yeah.
I mean, Browning stepped up to the plate a lot better than I thought he would for a game. And then after that, it went right back to the Jake Browning I thought was going to be up there in the first game.
Well, after Flacco, the Ravens needed somebody to fill that void. So to me, it's not a win as a game win, but it'd be a victory in the 2018 draft when they drafted Lamar Jackson, future MVP, and in my eyes, future Super Bowl winner. Mm-hmm. Hasn't yet, but I think he's going to. Mm-hmm. So my number 8 is drafting Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Gotcha.
See, I still say Lamar is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks when it comes to conversations of top quarterbacks in the league. Just the kid's got more talent than I think people give him credit for. And he's a phenomenal athlete. He's actually a phenomenal quarterback.
For sure.
But yeah, I've always thought he was kind of, when they start talking about best quarterbacks in the league, he a lot of times he's left off that list. I'm like, you guys are not really, he's as good as that offensive line is going to let him be, but he comes out of a lot of situations with his ability to read the field, athletically move the way he can move. And the Ravens for the past, I would say at least 6 or 7 years, it's the injury list that literally keeps them out of the playoffs more than anything else. Because if they actually had that original lining startup going into the later end of the season, they would probably be a way bigger threat than most people would have thought they would have been.
Yeah.
But the Ravens get a lot of injuries every year for some reason, and it just feels like most of the players that would get them there sitting on an injury list.
Yeah, the fact that they don't go deeper into the playoffs more consistently is always somewhat confusing because they seem to always have the most complete team. I think they always have, a great quarterback with Lamar Jackson. They've always got a great defense. They're always just solid in every facet of the game. But something always happens where they just don't quite. I mean, that being said, they have won a couple of Super Bowls since '99, but in the current era, they seem to, they struggle with the injuries and just other, kind of freak things. My number 7 is Browns Steelers, and this is not the playoff victory in 2020, but it's the game that catapulted them into clinching a playoff spot. They beat the Steelers 24-22, and Baker Mayfield got the game-clinching first down on a QB keeper, which was classic, just kind of vintage Baker Mayfield, kind of improvising and doing what was needed to get the first down. I view that, considering that it was a clincher for them for a playoff berth that year, I view that as their 7th best victory since '99, and that's one of my favorite games.
Dude, I'll be honest, I forgot about Baker Mayfield a little bit. Like, he definitely had those highlight reel moments, though.
Oh, he's killing it.
Like,
in Tampa.
Dude, he's killing it in Tampa. He's a potential MVP candidate this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny how some people change teams, different coaching, different players on the field, where the athleticism and what they can do really starts to shine. But even back during Baker Mayfield being at the Browns, he still had some of those, like, still have some of those what I call definitely highlight clip reel moments up there where just plays you're going, what, wow, like.
I mean, I would even go a step further. I think the idea that he ever sucked was always a media narrative. At some point, there are some occasions in the course of, with the NFL in particular, where the sports media just decides that they don't like a guy and they just pile on. That happened with Rex Grossman when he played for the Bears back in the late 2000s, and it happened with Baker Mayfield when he was with the Browns. But if you actually look at both his statistical and his win-loss record when he was with Cleveland, his first season he broke the NFL record for touchdown passes for a rookie quarterback. The following season, he had a little bit of a rough sophomore year, but that's typical of NFL quarterbacks, not totally unheard of. Still threw for 22 touchdown passes. The following season, the final 13 games of the season, he had the 3rd best QBR in the entire league. He threw for 28 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And then the following year, he played the entire season with a broken collarbone and a busted knee as well. And then he ended up getting traded and ended up in Carolina and then LA and then eventually in Tampa. But if you look at the entire body of work, I don't think he's ever actually been bad. I think he had one season where he played with multiple injuries, and that resulted in some rough statistical outings. But yeah, it's just the thing where the sports media just decided that he sucks. And in reality, he's kind of he's always had franchise QB potential. And now he's in a good situation in Tampa, and that's panning out. But Anyway, that's my rant on. I'm a huge Baker fan. I hate that the Browns traded for Deshaun Watson and abandoned Baker. That was the stupidest decision in franchise history, as far as I'm concerned. But I'll get off the soapbox.
Yeah. Might have been an easier list to do top 10 mistakes.
Oh man, that would have been. Oh, there's too many. I don't know how you choose just 10. You know, it's impossible.
I could probably would have had a. Yeah, that'd been a Cincinnati's had their fair share of what the fuck moments. Like, why are you doing this?
For sure.
I didn't want to interrupt you. We normally, before we do our 7, we do a Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Oh, okay.
So
today it's sponsored by Drew Carey's football camp.
It is.
This FMK is brought to you by.
So I just pick one of these cards?
3 of them.
3 of them?
Have you ever done Marry, Fuck, Kill before?
Never done it.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and just choose one of the 2 piles, and you choose 3 cards.
Those are the males.
Okay.
Which is fine.
So it'd be all 3 males. Yeah, just so if you're going to go here, then take 3 cards, or if you want to go here, you take 3 cards.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
it'd be
3 of the same. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And,
All right.
and then read them off so we know.
So that one there, we'll go ahead and just leave here.
Okay.
If you're going to take there we go.
All right. We're doing Fuck, Marry, Kill with Christina Aguilera, Nicki Minaj, and Danica Patrick.
Oh.
What an eclectic mix of ladies. Let's see here. Oh man, when I was a kid, I had a huge crush on Christina Aguilera.
Okay.
Very attractive lady. Nicki Minaj, I would say, is my probably a current celebrity crush. Never found Danica Patrick that hot. Just not my type. So I am gonna kill Danica Patrick. That was easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna just murk that bitch. That was unfair.
I was waiting for him to go. I'm going to run her over because she was
that's right. I'm gonna pull a what's the guy who he's famous for? He always runs people over on purpose, but he's still a NASCAR driver. Tony Stewart.
Oh,
yeah. He's seriously he just runs people over and then he just goes oops. And
my bad. It was racing and I didn't see him there.
Insane. So who? Yeah. Okay. So now I gotta marry one of these chicks and fuck the other one. Mm-hmm. I'm a traditional guy. I would fuck the lady I'm married to, personally. But anyway.
Well, I mean, you don't have to fuck one after you marry the other.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean.
No, that's a good point.
So keep your honor intact there.
So this is, in a way, this is sort of picking which chick you're going to cheat on.
Yep.
If you think about it. So I would. Oh man!
When you put it like that,
I think I would fuck Christina Aguilera. I would marry Nicki Minaj, and I don't even think it's that close when I really think about it. I like Nicki Minaj better as a person. You know, Christina Aguilera I think is kind of crazy, but I mean that bodes well for the.
Wait a minute, Nicki's not.
Yeah.
No.
Are you saying the right name there? You're meaning Christina's
yeah,
crazy?
Well, no, you're right. Nicki Minaj is also kind of crazy, but I think she has more like depth. I think is what I'm thinking. Like she has she's got more as a person. She's got more like texture. She's got like kind of an interesting backstory, and just kind of like she's complicated. I like chicks that are like a Rubik's cube. Hard to figure out. I just like that kind of thing.
Spin them around till you get the combination right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And Christina Aguilera, I feel like that would not be fun to be around 24/7.
So your side chick is Christina, and you're marrying Nicki.
That's right. I'm marrying Nicki Minaj, and I'm cheating on her with Christina Aguilera.
All right.
And that makes me a legend. Honestly,
Makes him a legend.
Matthew.
I'm gonna have to go a very different route on this. Unfortunately. I know way too much about Nicki Minaj to want to be with that. Unfortunately, I mean,
okay.
And don't get me wrong, she's been very successful. She went from a prostitution to national multi-platinum recording artist. I mean, what can I say, right?
Sure.
But I think there's probably a big reason WAP was one of her number 1 hits. And I think the biggest reason is so many people already have been there and know that. So
I don't think she sings WAP. You're
That's not
mixing
Nicki
her.
Minaj?
No.
Who is that?
That's Cardi B.
Yeah.
Cardi B, my bad.
And Megan
I had
Thee
her mixed up
Stallion.
with Cardi B. Cardi B is the one who was a.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj is. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. I know
Nicki Minaj is the first.
Well, that
Barbie.
Threw that whole I kind of threw that whole run off the scale though.
Can you do you have a picture of Nick? Can you visualize Nicki?
Yeah,
Minaj?
I visualized her. I just had the whole backstory wrong for some stupid reason.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so Nicki, I'm still probably gonna. No, I'm gonna have to change that all up. All right, I'm gonna kill Danica Patrick.
Oh
just
yeah,
because
obvious.
It's not that I don't think she's not attractive. It's just out of all three, I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's just not. It's just not my game, I guess. You know.
Yep.
I'm sure she's fast.
Sure.
In at least one aspect of that word. Just not a racing guy, man.
Yeah.
I like beer that doesn't start with Keystone or end in light. And so I'm just I think I'm going to have to jump in his boat and do that. Now, the flip side of that is I probably will end up marrying Christina Aguilera for a simple fact. I know way more of her music than I know Nicki Minaj's.
Okay.
And I kind of like chaos to a certain degree. So kind of in the same aspect, I have a feeling that if I was married to her, like nothing would be boring at all, ever. And you know, she's a little bit psychopathic, but, you know, she's on a path. Yeah. And she's at least on a path.
Danica Patrick was on a path, but it's just 4 left turns. It's not even that exciting. You know?
It was more of an oval, I think, than a path.
That's right. Yep.
It would get very monotonous and loopy in that relationship, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, I guess then I would have to have the side piece as Nicki Minaj. I will have to say that when it comes to female, I guess she would technically be considered R&B or hip hop or mixed somewhere in between there, honestly.
Yeah.
She has carved out quite a career for herself, but gonna be honest, I'm a little pale for that world, and I'm not, as Jay at work would say, I wouldn't quite fit in all of her circles.
Makes sense.
So.
Well, I looked their age up because I was just going to go with age, and I was going to marry the youngest one. But they're literally 42, 43, and 44. So that's out the fucking...
seriously?
Yeah.
Dude, that close together?
Yeah, so that's out the fucking window.
All right.
So
well, you can always marry the 42-year-old.
Yeah, no. So I'm just going to...
44-year-old.
I'm going to stick with killing Danica Patrick, but I'm going to fuck her to death in her car.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to come back and tell us who was tighter, the tailpipe or the organic.
Sounds like a plan.
At this point, my apologies to Danica if you ever run across this on some weird
I don't think I would even
search.
fuck Danica Patrick. I think I'd just kill her. I'm not going to give her that courtesy. No. That's stupid. That's so dumb.
And then when it comes to marrying, and I'm married to a white girl now, so I guess I'll marry Nikki and I'll just fuck Christina. And that's really just what it's coming down to.
Yeah.
So.
Variety is the spice of life is what we're breaking this down.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
I mean, oddly, very close to the same answers, just very, very different reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right. Back to the list.
We're on what, number 7?
Yeah.
All right. So number 7 for me is what I would consider a victory for the fans and the morale of Cincinnati more than I would consider a victory on the field. In fact, that's exactly what it is. But this is where I am talking about the draft of Joe Burrow to Cincinnati. You had a young quarterback who not only is a phenomenal athlete, but publicly stated he wanted to play for Cincinnati, which spoke more to the fans than it did for the management and the office. Mm-hmm. Not only did the fans look forward to him coming there, kind of on that bated breath, and then what he did his first year in Cincinnati was phenomenal, and how he came out and kind of pulled together what they had of a team at that point to make the run that they made. But I think just overall, Joe Burrow revitalized the fans of Cincinnati, and he got the media attention at the same point in time. Like when he took the field that first year in Cincinnati, I don't think I ever heard Cincinnati talk so much on any sports broadcast, whether it was Fox Sports, CBS Sports, ESPN.
Yeah.
Burrow was talked about by every single one, almost every single broadcast. The kid was really, and he's still going to have, I think he still has a lot of good football left in him. I think he still has another Super Bowl run left in him. Whether he's going to do that in Cincinnati or he's going to do that somewhere else, I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what Joe does in his career, no matter where Joe lands. And I hope he runs his whole career in Cincinnati, man. I'd like to see Joe spend as much time in Cincinnati as possible. I think we could actually build an incredible team around the young guy.
I'd like to see him get traded to the Browns, but that's just my personal opinion.
I mean,
I believe he said he wanted to stay in Cincinnati. I think that was his statement.
we know, but we also know how much money talks when people start writing zeros on checks.
Right.
I mean, we've seen football players like, I'm never leaving. Yeah, 2 years later, they're halfway across the country. Well, you see, there was an offer I couldn't refuse.
Next thing you know, they're playing quarterback in Saudi Arabia. You know, you're like, what the hell? What kind of money? It's insane.
Dude, the amount of sports that runs through and of money for sports betting that runs through the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, especially Dubai, is absolutely ridiculous.
It is crazy.
I think Dubai said they wanted to become the destination for sports teams to play within the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Like they want to hold all the biggest like the World Cup for soccer.
Yep.
They want to hold the Super Bowl there. They've already got MMA fights coming over there, like left and right.
Wow.
They want pro wrestling to hold all their biggest events, like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
All that stuff. They want all that to become they want Dubai to become the home for every one of those events.
Yeah.
I think it would be very difficult for them to pull NFL Super Bowl over there every year.
That could be tough.
But they have a lot of money to throw around to make stuff like that happen. And they're not afraid to do it. It's insane what they're doing over there at this point.
I mean, the NFL, the only place they have left to go in order to expand their market is internationally. Because they've galvanized the states so much that there's really nowhere to go outside.
And the thing is, we're starting to see the London games. We're starting to see the games in Ireland now. We're starting to see the other.
Yeah.
I mean, it is happening. It's slow, but you know, and I think a lot of that is over here. Football is that Sunday afternoon, evening sport, and as soon as they cross into international, I mean, now it's like 8 a.m.
Yeah,
it's, you know,
exactly.
And so, you know. Football was always that kind of, especially, I hate to say it, after church sport.
Yeah.
You know, for years on end, you went to church Sunday morning, it was football the rest of the day. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
I still think we kind of carry some of that mentality a little bit.
For sure.
So, sorry.
No, you're good. Just making sure you're good. All right. My number 7. In week 12 of the 2006 season, the Ravens shut out the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fuck the Steelers. Think we can all say that?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. They shut out the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Rapist burger, especially.
I'm getting there. Hold on. Shut out the Steelers 27-0. Bart Scott sacked Ben Roethlisberger in an epic fashion, and Ben recalls it being the hardest that he's ever been hit. The Ravens defense dominated with 9 sacks, 2 interceptions, and only allowing 172 offensive yards. It's called the cleat sack or something. I'm not really sure. I tried to figure out because he didn't lose his cleats, so I don't know. I watched it over and over again. I couldn't figure that out.
When the Ravens and Steelers play, some of the hardest hits I think I've seen in football is between those two teams. They almost grudge tackle each other. Like they're trying to see if they can stretcher the dude off the field at that point. Like the Ravens, especially back when you had Ray Lewis running the defense and they were playing against the Steelers. Like it was almost just a mission for him to just annihilate some people.
Yeah.
And AFC football is the most, you know, and AFC to East Coast is some of the most physical football I think you're ever going to watch.
I can see that.
Anytime Ben goes down. It's a good thing.
I mean, Philly. You think about it, going outside a little bit. I mean, Philly's a very physical team.
Yeah.
And they always have been. The Steelers have always been a very physical team. Which in turn has made the Ravens and Cincinnati and even the Browns a more physical team. Which I think is why when we play a lot of teams outside of the Midwest realm, I think it's why we do better in certain aspects, because they're more used to playing technical football. And whereas you come to our neighborhood, it's if you can't beat them type scenario.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a much more physically dominating game. Until it comes for Cincinnati picking offensive lines. I don't understand that. Ohio has at least 500,000 obese people. We can't get 5 of them to block for Burrow. I don't understand. I don't understand where this is.
It's one of those, like, for the version of that with the Browns is how they can never track down a quarterback. Like, they're running out of people
right
in the population. Like, at some point, my number's going to get called. And they're going to be like, we need you we need you on Thursday night. You're suiting up. And
Let's
anyway.
fucking go. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll do better than Gabriel. But let's see here.
I'm actually almost confident in. I would almost say.
Yeah, I mean,
what's old guy?
I'm ready to go now.
Let's go.
I'll say my number 6 is another Browns Steelers game. This is actually from 2003. The year prior to that, in 2002, the Browns lost to the Steelers in their first playoff game since returning to the league. And they had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. And then Tommy Maddox came all the way back, broke Browns fans' hearts. And when the Browns and Steelers played on Sunday Night Football the following year in Pittsburgh, the Browns, led by Tim Couch, beat the Steelers 33-13. And that was one of my favorite Browns games of all time. I was like 12 years old, just loved it. And that's my number 6.
Man, Tim Couch.
Mm-hmm.
Another name I just haven't heard in a while.
Oh man, he's
It's just kind of one of those. Yeah, it's a weird walk down memory lane on some of these stats. But I'm starting to hear all these player names I ain't heard. You just don't think about them after a while,
Yeah.
All right, so that's cool. So my number 6 is going to be that Cincinnati, once again, versus the Bills. This was October 2nd of 2011. This was during the Dalton era. It was Dalton's actual first game. It clinched the playoff spot for him because Dalton came in late that season. With a final drive and a touchdown in the final 4 minutes. Actually, it was right at the end of the final 4 minutes where they clinched that touchdown and actually clinched their playoff berth. That year, but it was against a very physical Bills, kind of one of those come down to the wire kind of moments for Cincinnati, and it was a huge thing because we were rolling into that season, late season, new quarterback, not sure what to do, and Dalton comes in and clinches that playoff run for him that year, and I remember being at work and just the excitement of everybody in the area. That was just like it was kind of one of those I would say water cooler moments, but I don't think there's anything there's no water coolers anymore. But everybody was definitely talking about it. At the time I was working retail, customers were talking about it, employees were talking about it. It's kind of one of those cool things. So
nice.
All right. I guess it goes back to me now. Number 6, right?
Yep.
Right? Okay. Number 6 for me. Week 14, 2013 season. The Ravens and the Vikings battled in the snow. 36 points were scored in the final 2 minutes by both teams. A 77-yard Jacoby Jones kickoff return and a toe-tapping TD with 4 seconds left from Marlon Brown, which I don't remember who Marlon Brown was. That's the player. I remember Jacoby, but I don't remember Marlon Brown. But that got the win. I do remember the snow game, though. Yeah. And that's what that was referred to as.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
Incredible. It was in the snow at Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, that's a great game.
You're used to seeing those things in like a Wisconsin game, but you never really 100% used to seeing those things in a Baltimore game or even a Cincinnati game, honestly. We don't have an extreme amount of snow here, coming out toward the end of the year. So
that's true. So going on to number 5, I got Browns Jaguars in 2002. this was which this will kind of lead into another number on the list, but the Browns won in Jacksonville on a Hail Mary from Tim. This is another Tim Couch. We had no idea how this.
Oh, I remember that. He just turned and just rocketed that thing downfield, and they were just like, "There's no way this is going to connect." Like, it looks so reckless on that throw too.
Yeah, it's caught by Quincy Morgan, and the Browns won 16-15. I remember this in part because I actually shut off the game in frustration. I thought that it was over. And then I was watching highlights later, and I was like, the Browns lost that game. What are they talking about? And Tim Couch, kudos to him. Hail Mary pass, wins the game 16-15, and the Browns made the playoffs that year, or either that year or the following season. So that's quite the game.
Yeah, I'm typically the highlight reel.
What's that?
And you had to watch the highlight reel.
I did. Yeah, it was a bummer. Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it. I have to tell people I'm pretty much a Cincinnati Bengals fan. It's where I live. It's the hometown team, so to speak.
Sure.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm emotionally tied to any one team.
Yeah.
Which I think gives me almost a semi-unique advantage to appreciate like really awesome plays when I'm not like super emotionally invested in the game.
Sure.
Regardless on what side it's made. I always want to see the Bengals do well. But it's just like I remember that game because that was one of the craziest. Like when he threw the ball, I remember saying, "Who the hell is he throwing it to?" He's just trying to rock it to the end zone at this point. And hope for the best. It's the end of the game. If you're going to do it, let's go.
Exactly.
And then Quincy makes that catch. You're like, no way, no freaking way. Like
crazy game.
It just kind of one of those weird scenarios. You're just sitting there on a Sunday watching football. You kind of. Like you say, I kind of go, oh, well, it's a Jaguar win this week. But you know, obviously it wasn't a Jaguar win this week.
Crazy game.
So it's kind of cool when you can like almost kind of sit back and watch certain games without being emotionally tied to one team or another. Because you remember really great plays, but you kind of get to appreciate it on both sides of that fence a little bit.
For sure.
And it's my number 5. Yep. Yeah. I just get wrapped up in certain things. I don't get it. All right, so mine's actually going to be the Cincinnati versus the Colts game from 2013.
Okay.
This was another year Dalton was there. The score ended up being 42-28. I remember this. Dalton threw for 275 yards that game. But one of my favorite NFL players was playing for Cincinnati at that time, and I still complain that they ruined this man's career. They ran him until they just got him hurt, which was Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. He was phenomenal in New England. Bill said he had so much of a line he couldn't use him. Traded him to Cincinnati. The boy played his heart out. But they just kept running him into offensive lines or defensive lines so hard, he eventually just had to quit. They injured him so much, essentially. But he had 2 rushing touchdowns, and it tied the record that ended up ultimately putting Cincinnati ahead in the division at that point. Cincinnati has spent so much of their divisions down, and of course, those divisional wins is really what helps you get into those playoff runs. Yeah. And it was kind of one of those, it was that defining moment of that year. If they can clinch this, if they can really play this well. It gave them that shot at the playoffs that year. And, it's the Colts. Let's be honest. I think it was Andrew Luck Colts at the time, but it was still the Colts.
Yeah.
And Colts have always played good ball.
Yep.
So top 5, this is what we call entering the Dragon's Lair. Just a thing from
the Dragon Den.
Season 1.
Well, you never want to always address the elephant in the room, so we undress the dragon in the room.
Okay.
Just coming up to the top number 1.
That's fair.
But the previous 5 or whatever have been good wins, but the top 5, we're really getting there. So these are more ones I remember.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll remember this too. Terrell Suggs, the Thigh Master interception. He literally intercepted the ball with his fucking thighs.
That's right. Yep.
Against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card playoff game.
Yeah.
I'll be 100% honest. It was the NFL's finest Jane Fonda moment. Those workout videos. She was just there.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thigh master. That's a.
They won the game 30-17,
Nice.
and Terrell Suggs will forever be known as the Thigh Master Interceptor. So
I'm so glad we're
That's
all
my number 5.
if
There you go.
We remember who Jane Fonda was because it would really fallen flat if no one remembered.
It's awesome how
For probably half of our listeners, go find a Gen X adult and ask
the Ravens have the thigh master interception.
Yeah.
The Browns have the butt catch. The Bengals probably have something. Really, I don't know.
Nothing absolutely comes to mind
Yeah.
as far as that goes. But
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, Johnson did an insane amount of one-handed catches, but that's more
That's
commonplace now than ever.
Yeah.
The Steelers have the Raper.
That,
I mean, yeah.
oh man.
Sorry.
No.
That poor city is never going to live down that one man's bad choices. You know what I'm saying? Like I was going to be like, oh yeah, it might be the Steelers, but at least we didn't draft a rapist. And Mike Tomlin's got to be sitting up there going, God damn, he hasn't played here in years. Like,
Right. I feel slightly conflicted because one of my alma maters is Miami. So he was a quarterback for Miami, and I wanted him to go to Cleveland when he was coming out of college.
right.
In hindsight, kind of glad that didn't happen, but we did get Deshaun Watson eventually. So they made sure to check off that box.
Kind of both Miami boys, weren't they? Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So number 4, I'm going to go Baker Mayfield's first. I think people often call it his first start. I could be remembering this incorrectly. I don't think he started the game. I think Tyrod Taylor started the game, and I think he got injured in the first, or like on the first few plays. And Baker Mayfield came in and led the Browns to their first win since 2016. Because this was right after the 0-16 season, and they hadn't won a game since RG3 beat the Chargers back in 2016. So Browns' first victory in 2 years with a brand new quarterback in Baker Mayfield. That's my 4th favorite Browns victory.
All right, man. So number 4 for me, and some people might just say I'm pandering at this point, but I don't care because I'm going to remember this game probably for the rest of my life, and I'm not lying. I am talking about none other than the Icy Hot Bowl that took place just a couple days ago on Thursday night. All right. So what I'm talking about here is Joe Flacco. I'm pretty confident if you want Joe Flacco to play football, just trade him to another team, give him 3 weeks, no preparation, and give him 2 wide receivers with a heartbeat, and that son of a bitch is going to raise the spirit of Joe Montana, okay? I mean, we're talking about 2 quarterbacks. No one's going to remember the teams they're playing on right now in 10 years because, holy shit, we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers move that way since he was a cheesehead. Let's be for real and honest about it.
Yep.
But, I mean, for God's sakes, we might as well just call Joe Flacco's arm Jerry Jones because that motherfucker's not going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, that was some of the most exciting and hilarious. I mean, from here on out, my opinion, if we don't have Thursday night football with at least one quarterback that hasn't retired twice, we might as well just cancel it at this point because that was a fun game to watch. Like,
I'm waiting for the rest of the NFL teams to start signing like random old men,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, half of those plays were predictable. Everyone knew that that Jamar Chase was going to run a slant and he was going to throw the ball to him. But for some reason, the Steelers could not stop Jamar Chase running a slant with Joe Flacco throwing the ball to him.
Yep.
And it was just. I mean, I realize by the time this posts, you guys are going to have to. Hopefully, they still remember it. Especially here in Cincinnati, if the other states and other countries you all listen to, go on the internet, look that up. It was just some of the. You want to talk about nostalgia reliving itself all of a sudden? Older quarterbacks with younger teams and what they can do.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers played really well against each other. But we're talking about 2 guys that probably should have retired 5 to 7 years ago, easily, if not longer. And I'm just, when you get up the next day and people calling it the geriatric marathon and my personal favorite, the Icy Hot Super Bowl. I mean, this is where it all comes down. This is the hilarious I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin had a first-class ticket after the game to fly to the Browns to beat the shit out of that office for trading Flacco to Cincinnati at that point.
Sure.
Let's just be honest. Because that should have been a walk-in victory for the Steelers. And the fact they beat the Steelers makes it even better. But beating the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, with a guy who came in with 3 weeks to prepare, that everybody was posting the Walker and Oxygen memes about.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to remember that game for a very long time. And that's just my personal take. I think a lot of Cincinnati fans are going to remember that game for a very long time. That game ended up being way, way more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
For sure.
And unfortunately, I missed half the game because I forgot it was on that night. And my kids had stuff going on. But I'm glad I caught what I caught. And, the conversation the next day at work was, "Oh, did you see the whole game?" "No, I only saw the last half." But it was still one of those, going back and even watching the highlights. It was just a great, great game. It was a lot of fun to watch. So that went in my top 5 at number 4.
Nice.
I love being right. People sleeping on Joey Flacco. That's all I'm saying.
And you were talking about it earlier, and I'm going, hang on, just wait a little bit more.
3 touchdowns, 331 yards, I think.
Oh yeah, dude, insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
People sleeping on Joey. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Browns
we're
did.
not around on that. Yeah, but they won 33-31. Flacco threw 347 yards.
347, there you go.
0 interceptions, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Which he was throwing interceptions left and right 2 weeks before.
And they don't have an offensive line, so it's not like they suddenly got one.
And of course, I will honestly say, I seriously believe that Cincinnati has one of the best kickers in the league in McPherson.
That's fair.
That dude is insane. But he sunk a very mild field goal for him at 36 yards at the very last minute to clinch off that game, which is just kind of the icing on the cake for me. When you can steal the win from the Steelers at the last seconds of the game, that's just icing on the cake right there.
For sure.
I stated earlier, the worst team is the Giants. The second worst team is the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that.
Nice.
But that brings me to my number 4. And it's once again the Steelers, because fuck the Steelers.
Agreed.
And it was last year in the wild card playoff game, which unfortunately my Dallas Cowboys slept on Derrick Henry. They did not pick up Derrick Henry, but the Baltimore Ravens did.
Yep.
And he ran on the Steelers 186 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they won 28-14. Lamar also had 81 rushing yards in that game. So, and that was the wild card playoff game last year.
You give Lamar a little bit of room, and that man will put rushing yards on the field as a quarterback that you don't always see from your any of your receivers or your running backs or anything else. Like he can move.
100%.
He's faster than Ben. He moves better than Ben, and he actually can take a hit like Ben. And that was where Roethlisberger got most of his fame, because Duke could take a hit, but he also could move up the field, almost agilely during his time. Apparently, he could move through a bar with even more grace. But I'm going to make these comments every time he comes up. But I think Roethlisberger showed the NFL that quarterbacks can be more versatile than they ever thought. And Lamar is showing the NFL that Roethlisberger only opened that door, that there's actually great and better athletic guys that can do it better than they ever could. And I think Lamar is going to push that boundary, because I would almost say, if you pull all the stats, Lamar probably has more yards gained by quarterback in any season than any other quarterback in the NFL. Every game he's moving, running, going somewhere. And a lot of these quarterbacks barely want to come out of the pocket. So,
yeah. Very true.
Before you give your number 3, another Mary Fuck Kill Matthew.
Am I just going for the other stack since we started on the pink
Or we
stack?
can do behind the back, however you want to do it.
Because this is where it gets weird.
Yeah. You want to do the males? Go for it.
Well, I don't want to do the mail.
Sure you do.
I don't sit at home going, how gay can we get today?
I do.
I mean, there have been times I woke up, looked around, shit, I woke up gay again today. God damn it, I didn't think it was going to be today. I must have took too much Tylenol when she was pregnant or some shit. I don't know. All right.
That's autism, not gayness.
I mean, what's the difference? I mean,
They're both on a spectrum. One's the autistic spectrum. One's the spectrum of the rainbow. Have you not seen their flag? Puts a whole new meaning to taste the rainbow now, don't it? Anyway, all right. So let's go with Billy Joe Armstrong, Jason Segel, and Casey Affleck. What the hell?
All right, looking at
Who
every one of
shuffled
these.
these?
That's an odd mixture.
Billy Joe Armstrong, I believe, is the lead singer of Green Day.
Joe or Joel?
Joe.
Joe.
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Armstrong.
I think that's the lead singer of Green Day.
Oh, yeah, we had him last time. But that's...
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's him. Okay, so who's the other one?
Jason Segel. He played the goofy friend on How I Met Your Mother. And he also
okay, yeah, I know who that is. But
played in Apple TV's
I'll still bring him up.
show about therapy or something.
Jason Segel.
Gotcha.
And then last...
And then Casey Affleck. That's Ben Affleck's younger brother, I believe.
I definitely don't know who that is.
He's been in a lot of movies, actually. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Affleck.
Um,
Okay. I guess that's him.
He does comedy a lot better than his brother does, yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't think too hard now.
No, this is actually going to get a little weird, but I have it all worked out, and it's I really shouldn't have said that based on the car choices. Anyway,
If you're trying to put yourself in more of a mindset of being gay, just pretend to be a Steelers fan. I'm just fucking.
why does that make it so much easier? I'm just saying, like,
That's just silly.
you ever woke up on a Saturday morning with two hamsters fighting in your asshole while you're sleeping outside off of a hangover? Well, that's what it feels like to be a Steelers fan. All right, cool. Jason Segel, I'm gonna kill at that point. I mean, dude's all right, but outside of everything, no. Billy Joe Armstrong, I'll fuck Billy Joe Armstrong, and here's the reason why, because he's a basket case, and they had a song called Dookie, so it just seems like he might be into that. And at that point, I'm going to marry Casey Affleck, and here's where it gets a little weird. Casey Affleck is the brother to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck knows Kevin Smith, or anyone that knows, I'm a massive Kevin Smith fan. Out of the three people, he might get me close enough to meet Kevin Smith. So, there we go. That's my whole reasoning behind all three of them.
There you go.
All right. I guess I'll go to me. Billy Joel, is that his name?
Billy Joe.
Billy Joe and Green Day, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've never been a very big Green Day fan. I'm also not that big into the goth look, so I'm just going to straight up kill him.
Okay.
And then Affleck, I guess he's the most attractive of the three, so I'd probably be able to stay harder with him.
You know they make pills for that.
So yeah, so
it
I'll
works within 15 minutes, but if it lasts longer than 4 hours, you might want to consult a medical professional.
I'll fuck the Affleck boy, and I enjoy Jason. It's Jason, right? Jason Segel.
Yes.
Okay, I enjoy his movies, and I think he's actually pretty funny. And some of the people that he hangs around, I actually think are pretty cool people. So I'd marry him, and I'm probably never going to have sex with him, though. So there's my answers.
Normal married couples, cool.
That's fair. This is actually fairly easy for me, which I don't know what that says about. Like, I'm a little concerned.
We won't read a lot into it right now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say I would kill Jason Segel. For some reason, I was never a big How I Met Your Mother fan. I don't know why. It just never resonated with me.
Probably because the gayest guy on the show was the biggest womanizer, which I understand the irony of it.
That was a little confusing because, Neil Patrick Harris, you think, you kind of have an idea of who he is as a person. So it's hard to manage that chasm between, anyway.
He's a phenomenal actor. He did a great job at
Oh,
it,
yeah.
too. I mean.
Yeah, but not very believable as a womanizer.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm going to kill Jason Segel. I am going to fuck Casey Affleck. I think we all agree. I mean, that's, just attractive guy.
I hate to say this, Casey, but you're very fuckable.
Three middle-aged straight men, and we're all like, we'll go for it, So I am going to marry Billy Joe Armstrong and get those Green Day royalties. That's what I'm going to do.
And I thought that for a second, I thought you were going to say Green Day groupies. I really thought you were just
Oh,
going to
that's
go there.
also.
Like,
Yeah.
you'll just get the trickle down plus off the Green Day
Yep.
groupies. Like,
That's right.
Still
Yep.
salvage the kind of half gay thing we have going on.
Exactly.
All right.
Awesome. So we are on to number 3.
Number 3, man.
Browns victories. This one is a little bit of a callback to number 5. So this was a Hail Mary victory against the Saints in the Browns' inaugural season back in the league in 1999. Actually, their first win since the franchise came back to the NFL. They won on a Hail Mary, Tim Couch to Kevin Johnson. And they won 14-13. That one was insane. That team was terrible. Like their inaugural game was in Cleveland. Drew Carey, speaking of his quarterback, program, he was the guy who led the Browns out onto the field to play the Steelers.
That's right. He was at that game.
Yeah, I think it was Sunday Night Football, or it was a primetime game, and the Browns proceeded to get completely destroyed 42-0. And the rest of the season was not that much better, but they had that victory against the Saints for their first win back in the league, and to me, that's a special one for sure.
Little known fact: Tim Couch was the first graduate of Drew Carey's quarterback camp.
That actually explains a lot. Oh man, Tim Couch, that bastard.
They found all the little kids growing up on the skids. So that brings me to my number 3. Oddly enough, we're getting a Steelers theme happening here of us, everybody just whooping down on Steelers. But this harkens back to not that long ago. This was 2020. It was actually coined as the cultural game that season. The Cincinnati lost to the Steelers pretty epically earlier in the season. This was right at the end. This took place on December 21st. The Cincinnati beat the Steelers in their second meeting that year. The score ended up being 27-17. It was one of those games that even ESPN, Fox, CBS, they all said, this game really showcased not only the rivalry, but almost what they coined as hatred between the players when they met on the field. They're like, this was the most, I believe what they said was the most intense attitude of rivalry they had seen in a long time on the field. Like the hits in that game just seemed to get harder. There was just a lot of, players standing up, kind of giving them the stay down stance type deal. Like it was kind of one of those defining moments there. And with Cincinnati suffering that loss earlier in the season, they came back kind of trying to prove something, and they did prove something that year at the very end. But it also kind of gave Cincinnati a little bit of that morale bounce back, because 2020 was not Cincinnati's best year by any stance of the league.
Sure.
But that game, I think by the time that game came around, they were like, if we can just beat the Steelers, we'll end our season on a high note. And Cincinnati pulled it off. They beat the Steelers. It was coined the cultural game. It was coined one of the most intense rivalry games that they've seen between two teams in a very long time. Why it took place in 2020, I don't know.
Sure.
But I think it was just kind of one of those things where it's definitely coined as that incredible, one of those incredible moments in my book.
Awesome.
All right, I've clearly been reading stats and stuff, so this one's a little bit wordy, so forgive me. Also, this is the last time, and I will get Joe Flacco's dick out of my mouth, I promise. Number 3 for me, the Mile High Miracle Game. You guys are familiar with the Mile High Stadium, correct?
Yep.
Denver? Okay. 2012 AFC Divisional Playoff game in Denver. The Broncos were on an 11-game win streak, and they were highly favored to win. Under a minute left in regulation, the Ravens' then quarterback, Joe Flacco, threw a 70-yard tying touchdown to Jacoby Jones. The game went into double overtime, ending with the Ravens' rookie kicker, Justin Tucker, kicking a 47-yard field goal to secure the win. That game was known as the Mile High Miracle.
And this was this a playoff game?
Yes, this was the 2012 AFC divisional playoff game.
Oh, okay. So that sent the Ravens to the AFC title game.
Yes.
Wow, nice. That's a good number 3 choice.
Yeah.
My number 2 for the Browns is Browns Falcons in 2002. This was the final game of the season and allowed the Browns to clinch a playoff berth for the first time since coming back into the league. I believe William Green, their starting running back at the time, ran for a 60-yard touchdown to give them the lead. And then to secure the win, they had a goal line stand against Michael Vick and the Falcons offense. And I remember watching that game. It was one of my favorite games of all time. The Browns had a lot that needed to go right for them toward the end of that season in order to make the playoffs. And I think it was the Jets had to beat the Colts later on that night or something along those lines. Everything fell into place. Browns get into the playoffs. That's my number 2 game since '99.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'll be 100% honest. I feel like that statement applies to the Browns and Cincinnati more than not. Like, a lot has to go right for us to get into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Yep,
But when it does, it's a great feeling.
exactly.
So my number 2 came about when I shortly started really getting into watching football and things like that. And this goes all the way back. I still remember this game vividly. Lost $20 on this game. Kind of pissed me off. But I still remember this game vividly because all the way back in 2003, the Bengals were not having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City was having a fucking phenomenal year that year. Kansas City walked into Cincinnati. Kansas City was on a 9-0 streak at that point. That was their record walking into Cincinnati. Cincinnati, their record wasn't even mentioned. That was just that bad. I think Cincinnati at the time was 1-8. I think.
I think so. I think they were actually 4-5 at that time. This was the first year that the Bengals under Marvin Lewis sort of started to show some signs of developing a good team. Because I remember Chad. This is the one where Chad Johnson guaranteed. He made the guarantee. He was like, "We're going to beat the 9-0 Chiefs," and everyone thought he was crazy.
There was so many other higher quality teams that they could not touch him. Like the Chiefs were just legitimately on fire that year.
Trent Green, Priest Holmes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And Cincinnati just not only ended that streak, but it was the disbelief that kind of rippled through the NFL at that point because other teams that literally pretty much stomped a mud hole in Cincinnati that year, the Kansas City railroaded, and there's just no way, Even at that point in time, I bet a coworker $20 that there was no way Cincinnati was winning that game, and sure enough, man, Cincinnati comes through, and it was like I said, another one of those kind of iconic Cincinnati moments. They ended that streak, or the quote unquote unbeatable Chiefs. Fast forward 20 years, we're doing it all over. We're trying to do it all over again.
Well, that was actually I think a turning point for the Bengals franchise because they had
I think so.
They had drafted Carson Palmer. John Kidna was still starting, I believe, but they were showing substantial signs of improvement. The year prior to that, they had been horrendous, and for several years prior to that, they were no question, the worst team in the league. And then suddenly. With Kidna and Chad Johnson, I think Corey Dillon was still the running back. Like they were really starting to do some things, and I think they ended up finishing that season 8-8. And it was the first season that Bengals fans started to see some hope that the Bengals could be good again. There was talk the Bengals had gotten so bad prior to that there was talk that they might be sold out of Cincinnati.
I remember that they were talking about moving the team entirely out of Cincinnati. Because people were starting to go, oh, it's another Browns thing again. It's another because it kind of happened years ago, and then because I think there was actually people looking at buying the Bengals and moving at that point as well. I don't remember where it stated they might have been going, but I do remember there were talks that they were going to move, that Cincinnati may no longer have a team.
Oh yeah, Yeah, so
I'm glad he got it.
that's a great number 2 victory. That was that was a great game.
But that one just iconically kind of just stuck out in my head all the way around. I knew that was going on the list.
Yeah.
When we talked about doing this list, I'm like that's just when I'm covering Cincinnati, that's going to be on the list. The more struggle is where am I putting it on the list,
Sure.
So comfortably fit right down in the number 2 spot. So.
Nice.
All right, man. So this is your number 2, and
Yep. As you just said, both my 2 and my 1. As soon as we discussed this, or when you told me, I knew these were going to be my 1 and 2. Couldn't leave these off. As soon as I say them, you'll realize why. And it's one final jab at you guys too, because you can't have something like this on your lists. 2012 season, we just discussed the Mile High game. They beat the Denver Broncos. They went on to the AFC Championship game. They beat the Patriots. That's not on here because I put the 2012 season Super Bowl where they beat the San Francisco 49ers 34-31 to win their second Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's my number 2. You can probably assume what my number 1 will be.
That's the famous Beyonce power outage game.
Oh.
She did the halftime show.
Yeah.
And it ended up knocking out power to the entire stadium. And the game was delayed for, I think, 45 minutes or something like that. And that sort of, that event ended up overshadowing the Ravens' victory.
Yeah.
Because everybody was talking about Beyonce blacking out the Super Bowl.
Stadium instead of
but that was a great Super Bowl. 49ers had Colin Kaepernick. At a time in his career where he was sort of the top of his game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great game. Really good Super Bowl. All right. Number 1 Browns victory since 1999 for me is, I think this one is pretty unquestionable. The Browns beating the Steelers in the playoffs in 2020. I didn't have time to look up the score. I think it was 48-39, I think was the final score. The Steelers made a run of it toward the end, which had me concerned because I was thinking back to the 2002 playoff game where the Browns had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter and squandered it. But in this instance, they held on to the lead. Baker Mayfield played amazing. Kareem Hunt was awesome. Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, multiple sacks. Just amazing game. Browns' only playoff victory since returning to the league. And it sent them to the AFC divisional round where they were one play away from advancing to the AFC title game if it had not been for a touchdown that was called back because of the receiver, I think it was Higgins, fumbled into the end zone and turned the ball over to the Chiefs. But the Browns' only playoff run since '99. So that's my top Browns victory.
48-37.
Oh, shit.
48-30.
So close.
Right about there, man. I mean,
damn it.
So for me, the number 1 spot is not necessarily. For me, it's a victory for the franchise, definitely a victory for the fans, even though it wasn't exactly a victory on the field. Mm-hmm. But I think it proved that Cincinnati is going to be able to do great things, and Cincinnati has the ability to do great things. I'm talking about the young rookie team that went to the 2022 Super Bowl, where we did end up losing to the Rams. But it kind of just goes to show that when you draft young, talented players, when the fan base is really and truly behind you, I think they had record sellouts at the stadium that year, all the way through because of Joe Burrow, what Joe Burrow was doing, people talking about Joe Burrow, ESPN talking about Joe Burrow, all the other commentators talking about Joe Burrow, and then Joe Burrow taking him, rookie quarterback, Jamar Chase. I mean, all these guys just coming into the league and being able to take them all the way up to that grandest stage kind of thing.
Yeah.
There is what I would say a nuance to playing in a Super Bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they not only made it there, played as well as they did there, speaks volumes, I think, for Cincinnati, speaks volumes for what this franchise actually can do. And it's just saying, getting that lightning in the bottle again. I think we'd see a whole different Burrow if he made it back to the Super Bowl soon than what we saw in that year. But I'm calling that a number one victory. The first appearance in 31 years for Cincinnati at a Super Bowl. I mean, it was 1989 the last time they made a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah.
And the fact they were able to capture that with, damn near a rookie team at that point.
Sure.
In my opinion, especially with all the leadership and key roles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. You had, Zach Taylor, I believe, was a head coach, just still trying to put together a running team and doing what he did, and then they all walked right into the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
I'll take it. Any year the Chiefs aren't playing in the Super Bowl right now, I'll take a win.
Definitely.
So.
For various reasons, I haven't watched a full Super Bowl other than my number one, actually. And that one. I watched that one because my wife is a Bengals fan. So I was actually rooting for the Bengals. So my number two that I just spoke of, I don't really remember. That's like when you were talking about the halftime show power outage. I don't really remember the Super Bowl because I just watched highlights or whatever on SportsCenter the next day.
Gotcha.
Because I just haven't watched the Super Bowl in its entirety for a long time.
Sure.
So I wanted to bring it up that I actually watched that one.
Yeah.
But I also watched this one. This is probably the last one that I've watched in its full entirety besides that one. And it was in 2000 when the Ravens won their first Super Bowl against the worst team, as I've stated several times in this podcast, the New York Giants. I absolutely hate the fucking Giants. I hate Eli Manning. Everything about him.
So, did you watch the Super Bowl for the Ravens, or just because you hated the Giants?
Oh, both. Both of them. Both things. But the Giants lost 34-7. Notice how I said the Giants lost. I didn't say the Ravens won. 34-7, and it's the Ravens' first Super Bowl. So that's the number one win since 1999 for the Ravens.
Yeah, 34-7. That was just a blowout.
Fuck
game.
Eli Manning.
I think that was the only Super Bowl that's ever had back-to-back kickoff returns for a touchdown. The Giants ran one back, and then the Ravens ran one back the very next play.
And that was the only touchdown the Giants scored, too.
That's right. Yep. The legendary Trent Dilfer at Ravens quarterback. He eventually played for the Browns at one point. He's on that list,
Didn't he
Browns
play for
quarterbacks.
Buccaneers also? Did Trent go on?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
There's a pattern there.
Yep. It's true.
Oh, last Mary Fuck Kill then. Unless you want to say anything about the three teams. Anything else you want to say about your Browns?
Oh man, I'm hopeful that maybe Shador has some abilities. I would like to see him start sooner rather than later. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is the guy. Yeah, I'm happy for Bengals fans that they may be able to make a playoff run. I'd like to see one of the Ohio teams continue to do decently well.
Well, you brought up Shador. What do you think about that? Like, what are they doing with Shador? What is your opinion?
Oh man, I think he has some talent. I think if there's anything that's gonna mess him up, it's the fact that he's still got some issues with needing to develop more maturity. But I think it's worth it to give him a chance. I don't see the Browns doing anything this season anyway. They're currently 1-5. They're going up against the Dolphins next week. I think, it's a perfect opportunity to give Shador a shot to see what he can do. As it stands right now, I think they're still starting Gabriel, so could be a rough one.
If it was up to you, would you have started him? Like from the get-go?
Not from the get-go.
Really?
I would have started Flacco, but I would have had Shador at number 2.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
For sure.
I'm plain and simple. Shador needs time on the field to see what happens. I got my own issues with him all the way around, but he just needs time on the field. You're not going to know what he's going to be able to do unless you put him out there and see what he can do in game scenarios, because that's really where any of his training is going to come down. Other than that, kid kind of strikes me as a little bit of a hothead, riding on more or less dad's fame than what he's out there doing on his own. But we haven't put him on the field yet to really see. So,
yeah,
I don't get where that's coming from. Like I've heard that a few times now, but that's not. I haven't seen the hothead stuff and the whole coming from his dad's fame shit. That's
it's more
not.
or less what he keeps showing up for. Just like
He should have been drafted higher. He got fucking fucked with the draft.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing, like he is handling it like a champ. I don't know.
there's a stigma around second generational football players. Like, people
But that's
aren't
not his
getting what
fault.
they're getting or not, and I understand that. I'm just saying there's still a stigma around it. And him showing up and getting arrested for speeding, or getting all these extra things. when he
Speeding?
shows up.
Are we serious? Speeding.
Hang on.
I was doing 90 to get here.
This adds to kind of the perception of the kid, right? Because you got to look at it when and not that speeding's that big of a deal, but when it comes up and it makes national news, people are automatically going to go, fuck, it's another Pac-Man Jones. Fuck, it's another Vic. Fuck, and these are guys who did worse stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to get yourself put in that classification and that aspect. And I don't know, that may or may not be a reason as to why they're putting them on the field. I don't know. But I honestly think that if we're going to see the kid's talent shine or fail, he has to step on the field. It's got to happen. And kind of the same to your credit, if they're confident they're not pulling off a playoff run, then just put him out there. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah.
You might get really surprised.
Yeah.
Or you might go, let's send him back to developmental a little bit. But at least give the kid a game or two.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. He may step out there, and the next thing you know, you guys start winning games. You guys start making moves, start making plays. And there is a difference between the athlete and the person.
Yeah.
On and off the field. But right now, the biggest directional perception of him is what's off the field because he's not getting the field time.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where some of the hang up from the public perspective is coming from. Not necessarily the upper office or the coaches, but it seems like every time they debate on throwing him out there or throwing him out there for a play or two or anything like that, there's always here it is. Like, it's kind of how I feel it gets perceived too much.
And it's kind of like, I think it's kind of a thing where like two things can be true at once where, like Shador does occasionally say things that probably aren't emblematic of a franchise quarterback. Like he'll say things that are a little bit irresponsible or like things that you shouldn't say about teammates. And at the same time, I think it gets overblown for him in a way that it wouldn't be for other draft picks because of the family legacy, but then also the history of the Browns. I mean, the sports media, I think, is kind of anxious for another Johnny Manziel type of narrative. They try to do the same thing with Baker Mayfield. They highlighted all of his mistakes when he was at Oklahoma, like all of his off-the-field stuff. And they're anxious for that to reemerge because it's a good ratings getter. I mean, Johnny Manziel, for as much of a disaster as he was, everybody watched. Everybody wanted to see what he was going to do next in terms of antics. And I think that there's a little bit of a bias where they want Shador to be a little more outrageous than he actually is, so they kind of pump it up. But he does have a few things to learn in terms of, he'll make comments every now and then that are kind of disrespectful to teammates. And but yeah, I mean, I think he's got potential. So
but I think that's where your comment on the maturity level is coming in. Like he just hasn't really quite figured that out yet. But I do think you're right. People love to overly zero in on some of the Browns' negativity.
Yep.
And they've done that over the years with a couple different teams.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems like the Browns is one of those teams that they just kind of love coming back to do it. Like, well, no one else is fucking up. Let's go see what's happening in Cleveland,
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Like, so it could be some of that's more or less blown out of proportion. But we still don't know exactly what the kid can do on the field. Like, legitimately know what the kid can do on the field.
And it's no fault of his.
Huh?
And it's no fault of his. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
And
no, you're right.
Everyone keeps forgetting he's still a kid. The maturity thing.
It'll happen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing about that, though, is until they give him an opportunity to outshine some of this other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because I guarantee if you put him on the field tomorrow, let's say Sunday's game, and he suddenly throws for 300 yards, has 4 touchdowns,
Yeah.
you know, and things start cranking, that off-field run-and-mouth stuff is going to kind of start shrinking because they're not going to talk so much about that. They're going to talk about this kid breaking out and doing this and doing that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which is also going to give this kid the ability to go, hey, coach, you know, we're going to try this again next week.
Yeah.
You know, I think in order to balance that perspective on him and other things, they have to put him on the field. I think they should be putting him. They don't have Flacco anymore. He should, at the very least, if they go into a game and they're losing, second half he's in.
Yeah.
Start putting him on the field, even if it's for half a game. But he has to have time. It can't be a snap play here or there. He's got to have time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pressure going from college football to stepping on the NFL grade. It's a little bit different game. I mean, all the basics are the same. The pressure is different.
Yeah.
The crowds are bigger. There's more money on the line. Your expectation is higher. I mean, I know guys who follow college all the time, and there's a few names they throw around. There's a difference in performance pressure, I believe, there 100%.
Yeah.
There's guys who are expected to perform at a high level, and there's guys in college who are trying to perform at that level, and that's why they get looked at. You know, once you hit that NFL, your expectation to perform at that level is a lot higher. And that's a different kind of pressure for those guys walking on the field. And he just needs experience and exposure to that pressure so we can really see what he can do.
Yeah.
Because it's not the family legacy. The family legacy's there. We know the talent's, damn near bred into the kid. It's just he's got to deal with that and make a run for it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Hopefully he gets it. But
Hopefully.
we have to wrap this up.
We
So
gotta
we
wrap
need to
up
do
and
the final Mary Fuck Kill. So I will let the guest choose left or right, and then that will be the final.
All right.
No, just choose left or right.
He's
I got him
the
behind my
cards.
back.
Oh, you got the
randomly,
cards.
you're blind choosing.
I'll go left.
Left?
Yeah.
You said left, but you're pointing at my right.
I guess you're right.
So
Yeah,
my-
you're
so
right.
you went right?
Yeah,
His
let's go
left,
right.
You chose the males.
All right.
All
So
right, hey.
so we get to be gay again.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Henry Cavill. That's Superman, right? Well, previous Superman.
Superman
Is it?
and The Witcher.
Derek Jeter. And Chris Pratt.
Oh, Jesus.
That's
Tough
Star-Lord?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's Star-Lord.
So,
All right, so what do you got? You chose it.
oh, okay. Well, I didn't choose it, but all right, let's see.
You dealt it.
Well, I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm not going to kill Jeter. I'll marry Derek Jeter. We'll go with that first. That leaves me with Henry Cavill and Chris Pratt. I guess I'm fucking Superman. Yeah, we'll fuck Superman, and I'll just kill Star-Lord, Chris Pratt. No real reasoning other than Henry Cavill is Superman. I don't know. And I'm marrying a Yankee. He probably has more money than the other two. So there we go.
Oh man.
So apparently he only hates New York football.
Yes,
right,
yes.
Interesting. I'm going to kill Derek Jeter because I'm not a big baseball fan, and also when I do watch baseball, I like the Reds and also the Indians. Not a big Yankee person, so I will kill Derek Jeter. I will marry Chris Pratt because I feel like probably pretty funny. Kind of keeps things entertaining. And I guess I'm fucking Superman. Yep.
I'm kind of along the same lines as Kevin over here. I'm definitely probably killing Derek Jeter. Not a huge baseball fan, but I really hate the fact that when it comes to baseball, New York just has the most money and buys whatever they want, and they can essentially they're buying World Series at that point. So I will probably.
Sorry, we win.
Most your Steeler fans are also Yankees fans. I'm just saying. So at this point, I guess I will. I guess I have to fuck Star-Lord, and I will marry Henry Cavill just because of his role in The Witcher. I don't really care for the Superman fan of shit, but his role as Geralt in The Witcher, I mean, yeah, it'd probably be a somewhat decent life at that point. And they all have a crap ton of money, so I'm not really sure why money is really in that conversation for you. But you want that.
I think Jeter has the most.
So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously that makes sense since New York has no salary cap and can pay the guy.
Plus, I can go to Knicks games all the time. Come on now.
You can go to Knicks
Court side, baby.
Nice.
He's just a Knicks whore at this point, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there are worse things.
Matter of fact, Derek Jeter, will you marry me?
He's the one down there courtside at the Knicks holding the sign. I took it up the ass to be here tonight.
Yep.
But I didn't pay actual cash.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be worth it to watch the Knicks. I don't know. They're better than they used to be,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They're back in the playoff
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
It seems like so. Tough decisions.
All right. Well, thank you for being a part of this. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was cool to talk about the Browns and football in general and everything else. And yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. It's exciting to have a different guest on, but I'm really glad we got you on because it's a lot of fun no matter what. So
awesome.
All right, man. So I guess that's going to wrap it up. We've already had the everything else and went a little long today, but I think it was well worth it. It was a great top 10 list, great walk down memory lane, especially for Ohioans and sports teams in general, especially from here. Otherwise, guys, we drop on Wednesdays every other week. So this will be, I guess if it's dropping now, it'd be in
late December or
late
January,
December.
which, is there anything that you would like to promote that would be after that?
Oh, sure. So on January 3rd, we have one of the biggest comedians in the country at Bricky's. We've got a guy named Louis J. Gomez coming through. We don't have this confirmed for sure yet, but the night before, we're likely going to have Jordan Rock, who is Chris Rock's brother.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have Jordan Rock on Friday. We're going to have the debut of a TV series we've been filming at Bricky's for several months called Bumped. That same night at 9:30, we're going to do like a live debut of it in the club. And then the following night, 2 shows with Louis J. Gomez. So January 2nd, January 3rd will be the biggest weekend that we've had at Bricky's thus far. And tickets are at brickiescomedy.com.
Hell yeah.
Also, in February, Kevin and the guys are going to go for the Comedy World Record.
That's right.
And you can buy 2-hour slots, I believe is what it was. You can buy 2-hour slots to watch.
We have the 2-hour pass. We have, I think, a 4-hour pass,
Okay.
and then a full festival pass. So that gets you in for as many times and for any duration that you want for the whole festival. Meaning that if you purchase the full day pass for that full 5 days that we're doing that continuous show, you can show up anytime and stay for as long as you want.
Cool. So plenty of options. But guys, if you want to come down and watch a world record and be a part of a world record being broken, go to brickiescomedy.com. Get your tickets for that. That's coming up in February. I know there's, if you are a comedian, there's a place for you to sign up and get in to be one of the comics and be part of that world record breaking experience. But otherwise, hit up brickies.com. He's always got a lot of shows going. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They always have postings of pictures. And I promise you, you will not regret getting off your couch, closing TikTok, and sitting in that crowd. It's going to be a great experience, a live experience like you've never had. And you're going to want to go back. So come out and support not only local comedy, but now national comedy. And it's going to be amazing. Get those tickets at brickies.com. So that's going to do it for us, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode, and until then, have a week.
Fuck Eli Manning. Peace.
So fucking inappropriate.